recording. Hey everybody, Dr. Glow here with Black Girl Everything, and I am so excited as usual. I have the beautiful Dawn with me today. Hello, darling. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for this invite and opportunity to share of me, to share of the things that I've been doing. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm just so excited to really dig in. We've had an initial conversation, got to know each other and your brand and business, and honestly a lot of just about you. So tell everybody about your name of your company and what you're kind of doing, and we're going to dig in.
I am the founder of Pure Moves, which is a 501c3 that focuses on female youth, women who have experienced various types of trauma. The part of Pure Moves is building a female's innate resilience to overcome, to still pursue your dreams and your talents and aspirations, regardless, in spite of what you have experienced. I am happily married, 3 children. I am just doing the work. That's what I'm here to do. Just do the work.
Yeah. So what made you decide to start this organization? Because we talk about trauma so much, and we also know about the history of not acknowledging the experience of Black women and girls. So what really drove you to want to start this organization?
What drove me was my personal experiences with trauma, various types of trauma, being verbal abuse, sexual abuse, and also I really haven't found like the wording for it yet, but my son was removed from my care due to a faulted ACS case.
Okay.
So all of those things drove me to creating a safe space for women to talk and to share, because we really don't have platforms like that. And from my experience, there's a lot of females who are ashamed and they hide it and they carry these things and trauma and experiences. And it really does take a toll on you emotionally and health-wise. So I just wanted to create a safe space so women can come and share their hearts in regards to what they have experienced.
Wow. No, I completely understand what you mean by that. And I think that having those types of spaces is really important, especially in our culture, which doesn't provide a lot of safe space for people of color, just in general, as we're constantly combating and fighting so many things, even as basic, even in our schools, where a lot of our young folks are not remotely safe in some of these environments, let alone have that social emotional confidence space or that peaceful space or that safe room or that safe person that they can communicate with, right? So it's important to do this type of work. So for example, how do you actually work? How does this scene or in real life when you actually work with clients? So can you kind of like show or give an experience about it?
An experience. I just recently spoke with someone who's a little older than me. She shared the experience and trauma of her mom, and just the words that her mom used to to guilt her into doing certain things. And I didn't even know that certain words and verbiage that a parent can use can be traumatic. And it wasn't even it wasn't like speaking down to her. It was more so, you have to do this because I'm your mom.
Yeah.
It was that. Yeah. And I was like, oh my goodness. But the overall conversation, I just poured into her, assuring her that she's not abandoning her mom, number one. Number two, you are of the age where you have to now live for you, and your family will be okay. That's another thing. Family can also cause trauma. They don't know that they're doing it because they don't see it as abuse per se, but just that guilt, just the leaning on someone all the time, it can be very draining. And it's draining. It drains the life out of people. And I've heard this so often, even with teenagers who they're not doing well in school because they have siblings, they have to work, they have the schoolwork, they're dating, they have kids. So it sort of seems like a never-ending cycle when it comes to different types of trauma. But that's the most recent experience.
Well, you just named my whole life. Literally. I'm the oldest of 15. So when I was growing up in my house with my mom at the time, before I went to college, there was already 9 of us. So when I went to school, I never went back because it was that clutch that you had on. And then, I grew up, homeless and had a lot of traumatic experiences in my childhood, my mom. So I was working since I was 14, taking care of myself since I was 14. Like, all my school clothes, like taking care of myself, like for real. Like I stayed with my mother, but I ate my own food. Like I brought food for myself. So it was one of those types of situations. And you just don't realize until you start separating yourself from that, how traumatic it was. And it was very traumatic for me. I'm just now in my 40s building a stronger relationship with my mother because of that level of trauma that I experienced when I was younger. So I totally get it, but sometimes certain people don't get through that process and they start repeating the same behaviors, not realizing. I was like, no, I'm just gonna, do better. We have a great relationship now, but it took a long time to get there because that trauma was real. It definitely was real. So, so being a mother and an entrepreneur, because I know you have lovely family over there.
Yes.
How does that work for you, and even for your husband, who also is an entrepreneur as well? So, as I have an entrepreneurial household, what does that look like on a day-to-day?
On a day-to-day, first of all, it's hard. We had to find balance in everything. Balance in personal time, self-care, balance in finances, and who's staying home with the kids, who has contract, who has a Zoom, who has this, it took us about a good maybe 3 years to get a flow. And outside of being a entrepreneur, just being a wife of someone who is an entrepreneur is difficult because you have to encourage, you have to push and support someone else and you. So it's like double motivation, double support. And we've had some very hard conversations. He has pointed out some things to me as far as most of my time going to like the kids and not really supporting him. But for me, I was looking at the children saying, but they're little and they need help and they need this and they need that. But he's like, but I'm your husband and I need you too.
Yeah.
So I really had to sit in that for a while for me to understand his heart and what he meant. And at first it was hard for me because I'm like, they're 4, 6, and 19. Like, you're older and you can do what you can do. So after I found that balance, everything just fell into place. But it was rough. It was rough. It's still a little rough sometimes. But it's a good rough though.
No, I get that. I get that because even with me being Dr. Glow and the Dr. Glow brand having so many different aspects of it, and then Lisa being here, being my event management company, and then being the manager of my household, and then being the manager of my children, and then being the manager of our personal life as well. It's so overwhelming. There's so many different parts of it, and it's like, and then I work a lot, so especially I don't work a lot. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I'm at work like 12 hours. And for her, it's like I'm like at work for 15 hours a day, every day in her mind. And I'll be looking at her like, what are you even talking about? So then I had to like learn to respect that if we're watching TV, no, don't bring your laptop. If you're doing this, make sure you're taking her on vacation. And I'm just intentional about taking her on random dates, even if we're just going to get ice cream by ourselves, without the kids, and, going for a drive, or we take dates to Costco, or I'll take a long lunch and we go food shopping together. Just finding ways to give that time back, because honestly, the Dr. Glow brand takes up a lot of my time. And it's not even just me physically being gone, but I'm mentally gone a lot. You can be there, but sometimes it's just not even there.
I've heard that for years. Like, he said to me one time, and I'm being totally transparent, but this is like one of the most, what I thought was one of the most harsh things I've ever heard in my life. But he said, it feels like I have a roommate. And I was like, oh God. I said, what? And he said, you're here, but you're not here.
Yeah.
Like, I physically see you, but the quality time, the conversations, the touches, the kisses, he's like, you are so focused on what needs to be done that everything outside, you don't even notice it. And I was like, wow. But he was telling the truth. It was true.
Yeah. What's your sign?
I'm a Taurus.
Oh, you like things your way, huh? No, you're loving, you're caretaking, but the bricks around your head are thick because things are your way.
I know.
All the time. But you're completely loving. You're going to take care of your people just the way you want to take care of your people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's real life though, because we sit here and we have our perspectives of how we're going to live our lives and things we want to do. We all want to accomplish all of our greatest goals and all these different things. But then sometimes it just negatively affects the ones that are around us, even when we're not trying to do it intentionally. And that's one of the biggest things about entrepreneur, finding that word balance. Balance is so key with everything that you do. Take some time from something else to give into something else, but you kind of constantly pour into your marriage. And running a business is hard. And that's why I asked a question to you specifically about you both being entrepreneurs in your household and how that necessarily is affecting you and your house, because that's a different dynamic.
It really is. And I just picked up I'm a DOE vendor. So I received like a contract at a school. So this is another layer of something else. Now it's with teens. It was women and teens. And now it's like vision boards and helping them make and t-shirts and all of this stuff. So it's every day it's like it's another layer.
Yeah. Well, congratulations on your new contract, by the way. But
thank you.
Yeah, but that's the name of the game. And it's just figuring out how you still can maintain as a woman, as a mother, as a wife, as a human being, as a young person, somebody who's breathing in oxygen. Like all those different things go into how you're going to figure out how you're going to balance out your life. Yes. So for individuals, I'm still trying to get a stronger grasp on what you actually do. So do you move more so as a life coach? Do you host sessions? Because it seems like Pure Moves does a whole bunch of moves in a lot of different ways, I would say. So if
Yes.
somebody wanted to get like a synopsis of services that you offer, what would you say?
Synopsis of services. Okay, so we spoke about the trauma, like the different
Yeah.
types. Camaraderie with females is something that I'm big on,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the brown community. It's so much opposition. We really don't spend time. We really don't trust each other. We don't talk. We don't network because this is my thing and I'm not trusting nobody with my thing. So you stay over there. Hey, girl. Hey, sis. And I'm over here. So I've really tried to create moments, spaces. Um, I host Zooms where we discuss different topics. I recently, one of my momentum cousins asked me, a gentleman asked me if I could host a like a male platform, but invite the females so men can share from their heart. And I didn't even think, no, I knew men would want to share, but the way they shared, I was
Mm-hmm.
2 hours, 2 hours. These men was talk 2 hours. And I
Wow.
mean, the vulnerability and the space that was created was amazing. So women had the opportunity to hear about men and their trauma and
Mm-hmm.
their struggles. So it's platforms like that. I also do vision board parties, goal setting. And I just find that like to be very important because we can just be engulfed in life and things that's happening and we're doing and we're doing and we're doing and we're not tracking our goals and recognizing how much we really accomplished because we're just off the whim, just doing stuff.
Yeah.
So that's a facet. Um, Something that I'm starting like to do now with my high school students is having sessions regarding
Mm-hmm.
self-care, mental health, hygiene, healthy relationships, self-esteem, and they create vision boards based off of
Mm-hmm.
that also. And something else that I'm going to implement that they don't know yet is them creating their own statement piece, which is
Mm-hmm.
like a t-shirt. Like I did this, I bleach, I distress, I put the vinyl on so they can actually make their own statement piece. They could have a quote, they could have a saying, it's their name,
Mm-hmm.
affirmation, things like that. Um, yeah, in a
Okay.
nutshell.
All right. So it seems like a creative, holistic support space where you can share your emotions and your deepest feelings in a safe space, as well as connect with others while doing so.
Yes, that's
See,
it.
I did that. I can do that.
That was quick. That's it.
Yeah, because
Now,
now so what happens is every time I interview people, and now I know in my back pocket what exactly you do, what services you offer, so I can tap you in because collaboration is key for me. And I'm just always about constantly figuring out how I can collaborate with other organizations. Now with Pure Moves and then Daisy Dream Project and everything else like that, I see us doing a lot of work in the future, or even now with the parent meetings for my school, Colorado Child Development Center, where I have to have parent workshops and mom workshops and dad workshops and stuff like that. So I can tap into, giving you a contract to come out and, and work with us throughout some of those processes. So yeah, I'm very big at dissecting through people's businesses and organizations because I want to have a complete understanding of what you're doing. So honestly, one day I'm going to wake up and tell you how you can elevate yourself. But I promise you the spirit's going to tell me. And also just to figure out how we can work together because if we don't work together, who is going to work with us? And I'm just so caught in how can I tie everyone into some aspect of my life? Because in the same token, I expect everybody to figure out how they can tie me into every aspect of their life. And if we keep doing that, then we all win. We always all win when we tie each other together. So that piece is just important to me. So if people want to actually find you, where can they find you at?
I have a Facebook group. Is Pure Moves Facebook group. If you would like to contact me via email, is puremoves1@gmail.com. My IG page, which I always forget, is pure_moves_.
Perfect.
And I am, you was like sharing and what you just said, I absolutely have a topic that I would like for you to touch on with the Pure Moves population, like, because you're super dope and you're doing so much and it's appreciated. And it's appreciated. Like, we need more of you, more of yous, because you can't do it all by yourself. So we need more of yous, more
Yeah, no,
use.
that's what I'm doing. So it's like, I have this giant tree called by soul, and I'm just going to connect other people to it. And then we're all going to connect. And then what's going to happen, my network's going to connect to your network, and our networks are going to continue to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. I have so many people that I met along the way who are now business partners and doing more things together and working together and collaborating on projects and creating together. Creation brings life. It's one of my other big quotes that I use all the time. And it's just finding a space and ways for people to continue to network so they can build up to being something great, because nobody does anything all by themselves. It's all about who you have behind you and with you.
That's the truth. Here for all of it. I love it.
Yeah. So I wanted to thank you so much for your time this evening. This has been amazing, to figure out what's going on with you and what you have going on. And I know a lot of people who can use some workshop with you. So we're going to talk. It's going to be a lot of great work. We're going to get that out here. I'm excited.
Yes, I'm excited as well. Thank you again. Thank you so much.
No problem, Dawn. So until next time, I'll see you later.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.